Oh.
The flavored one.
Mm-mm. There you go. Ah, shit. There you go. All of you are here. Account for. Welcome to session 32. Yes. I just realized the first map is actually now relevant once. Finally. Good. So, I hope everybody had a week to figure out what the hell you want to consider. Since, you're kind of all over the place now. So, had a whole week to figure out what you want to. So, that's the same question I ask every single week. Are you ready to begin?
Maybe.
Let's go. Yep. I'm perfectly ready.
So, we left off. Well, not really much positive happened. You got the your shit kind of kicked in mentally more than physically. Left you essentially come to the realization that you've been tricked by a druid, parentheses, potentially demon. Lost everything. Ares, typically. Transported in the place that you have no resemblance except for Constantine for a slight, just a crumb of knowledge about the place. Slept there, dreamed about the glorious past that used to be, met a very powerful hag that told you that there's really no reason to fight on anymore. For the world is already dying, very brink of its twilight. There's no real reason to do so. Disheartened, decided to travel you decided to travel back to the village. See if you can find anyone, see anyone, and surmise the damage. You got intercepted and placed under arrest by an inquisitor of the Platinum Seas, where several questions were asked. Some minds were prod, and you were let go. And with that being said and done, last we left off, after the Inquisitor found himself satisfied, but somewhat satisfied with what he received, he let you go by teleportation. So you all basically fell into the wall as the gravity shifted, dropping you in literally just the forest in the middle of nowhere. No roads, no signs of markings. It could be literally anywhere. So would anybody like to?
Ooh. Well then.
So,
It's
we're in our environments, we're in the middle of no fuck pretty much.
Is
So what's the
everyone
environment
okay?
like? What's the surrounding like?
The weather is clear. It is early morning. The sun is already risen up, beaming. That's that kind of weather.
Okay. So we're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing we can see. No towns. No.
No.
I suppose we should head in a direction.
I could try to see if I can find anything.
What are you particularly looking?
Give me a few minutes. And
Okay.
Aris starts to sit down and is casting a spell. Sort of like a meditative state. I ritual cast this spell Commune with Nature.
Uh-huh.
And let's see.
What information are you communing with, my good
Yeah,
sir?
I can get up to 3 different facts of anything that exists within 3 miles of me.
Yes, so what would you like to know?
So I want to know. Let's see. People. The first thing I want to see if there's any
Mhm.
people within 3 miles. I want to know if the general terrain and bodies of water
Mm-hmm.
up to 3 miles. And let's say influence from other planes. Why not?
Roll me just simple insight. So, as for animals, people, plants, you sense that they're a small pocket about 2 miles away, north and south, of small humanoid creatures that you know as kobold. Sends 2 elves, dwarf with those said kobolds. You sense everything as nature would dictate in a forest. Smaller prey hide while the bigger predator creatures hunt their fill. As for terrain and bodies of water, you know that it's the forest. It's the Larian forest. It is almost, how do I say this? It's not like you've been here, but it has all the hallmarks, the plants, the trees, the small streams that almost like scars in the earth, stream with water. Um, this whole place is basically like home. It's very hospitable, very survivable in it. Plenty of resources, both of food and water. Nothing unnatural about it. And the third was one influence over. Well,
Yeah. Sorry.
as for the influence of other planes, there is this small, almost like a mist, a fey influence everywhere. It has this sensation that if it would be concentrated enough, or somebody could concentrate enough, you could probably go into the Fey wilds. There's clearly some Fey influence, but also what you notice, about a mile to your west, there is a semi-decent pocket of influence coming from the elemental plane of Earth. Less concentrated, like less like a blanket over the less like a blanket over over the lands, more of a concentrated ritual.
Yeah, I tell this information to the rest of the party, basically saying that there doesn't seem to be any danger in the vicinity. No real people around, but there is some kind of extraplanar influence of kind of Earth to the west.
As you kind of like explain the situation down, Constance seems to nod along before thinking for a moment more before looking at you. Master, what do you want?
Well, currently I want many things, but he sighs. Firstly, I would like to warn other druids. Archdruids, if I can. If the archdruids have been infiltrated by demons, then they should know, and they should be wary of imposters.
You also. Is that all you want?
I also want to become stronger, so this doesn't happen again.
Kind of looks you over for a moment, like eyeing you up and down. Ares, what like equipment do you have equipped at the moment?
His current equipment are a magical robe. That seems very druidic.
Mm-hmm.
That's very normal staff. That just seems to be a normal wood cane. Not too much else visible.
You have that shield that Vest gave you.
Yeah, they have this slightly. It is not quite magical. It's a slightly druidic in influence, but it's a strong, almost normal shield. That's basically my equipment.
Mm-hmm. He walks like closer to you and like lightly touches some of the pieces of equipment you have, and what seems like to be a light inspection. And what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve that goal?
Sacrifice? What do you mean? What do you mean?
You understand if you continue this path, only suffering awaits.
Do I hear that?
Oh yeah, he's saying it out in the open.
He shakes his head. I think and he has a very wry smile. Seeming to force himself to smile a bit.
Mm.
If suffering is ahead, then we will make our enemies suffer more.
He kind of nods.
I've already felt suffering. I don't think I can suffer more.
He kind of looks solemnly at you for a second before writing his face. I understand. Well, if you do truly want to take down some demons, all right, Alexis, I have a question. As I pull out a scroll, a teleportation scroll, just that is Bluestone still one of those popular markets, or do I know of a better place to bring some people down for a shopping trip and a good time?
Wait. Do you want to ask for a place for shopping and a good time?
Exactly.
Oh boy, that really depends what you assume is shopping and a good time. Because many people have many different vices.
Good point. Somewhere somewhere a bit over the top, but nothing that would absolutely destroy the fellow party members here.
You can roll me a history check.
Sure, let's see what comes to mind. All right, 19 on history.
Man. Time to go. Oh god, give me a second. I need to look at something. I know exactly what you look, but I need to name. Give me a second. Anybody else? What would you like to do at this very moment? Can I find it?
I guess Vess is just looking around the area to see anything. You know.
Yeah. I'm with you.
You can roll both perception.
Mm-hmm.
Let's perceive. Let's perceive.
Perception.
That's not my sheet. That's my sheet. So, Theo, you don't. I don't think you really don't like you. The dice doesn't like you.
That's rough.
I'm the stupidest character ever.
That is
You
rough.
you look around for a good 20 seconds, and you think to yourself, "Man, it's so fucking dark." And then you realize the gravity shifted, and your helmet is put on you sideways, and you're like, still oblivious. While everybody else, you see that Theo's kind of looking very often left. It's just very cautious, just staring left, like this 79-degree angle to the left always. So that is a pickle, right? Constantine. You look at Ares, you know that this is your charge, and you want somewhere, I guess, to motivate him somewhat.
Get spirits up a bit.
Yes.
own special
And you
way.
realize he's the most fucking innocent person. Not to mention, he's a fucking druid who is one of those who doesn't really like metal that much. So, no big grandeur cities in the coalition would work where they're cities of metal, stone instead of wood, and all kinds of, mechanical intrigues. Or can you go somewhere like, Bluestone, where you could basically leave him to a handful of bars and come back after a week. But you do know a place, not very opulent, but very beautiful for especially a druid. You don't even know if Ares knows, since he doesn't seem like he knows a lot more than his own region. But actually, to the east of the world, bordering the deserts of Kafir, there is Machada. It actually borders Alarian forests to the east as well. At the very southeast of Machada, otherwise called the Stubborn Nature's Path Eastward, there lies a similar city like Cradle Rocks. Cradle Poros, the de facto capital of the Aarakocra of the world. They have a massive city on top of a mile-long series of spires, mountain ranges, that is basically stretched out using long routes, if you will, to connect one mountain to another. Is it a place where you go and spend your money on random stuff? No, but if you're a druid, it's kind of nice. It's kind of good. And there's a lot of stuff you can do there if you really wish.
Oh, and do I know of any special shops around there?
Jesus fucking Christ. Roll me a history with disadvantage.
Is it flat, or are we going straight disadvantage and I'm just
Straight
allowed to check it?
disadvantage, yes.
Alright. The dice haven't been very nice recently, so we'll see. Oh, well, that wasn't... Oh, I forgot to put one. Sorry, let me fix
That was
that.
an error.
25.
25. You can imagine from your past deeds and contracts, there's some places, some are cockras that are willing to help you out to acquire specific goods, mementos, or even experience in Cradle Poros.
Sounds
Two.
perfect.
One name rings out of a very not so recent associate of yours, a Red Raptor, an old Cochra that has endeared itself to you, and of course is willing to help you in any way, shape, or form.
Alright. And then with that, I nod. I think I know just the place. And pull out the teleportation scroll. Well, I already have it out at this point. Come closer, you are. And if you guys walk up close enough, he'll start chanting a teleportation spell.
But you're gonna try to what are you trying to, like, we're trying exactly to teleport?
I'm gonna like just teleport outside of where I'd imagine the main square of business is, somewhere where we can easily get to where we need to be, but not directly in there.
Oh, okay. I need to. You won't really be able to get any maps, but anyway. Okay, roll me a D100.
Let's watch it be one, boys. We're going to the void.
No.
No, actually. Apparently I'm decent at teleportation.
Void. Okay, give me a second. Da-da-da-dum. So, give me a second. I need to. And. Boop. So. The first sensation, teleport through, is all of a sudden the elevated sensation of heat. You're no longer in the pleasant summer-ridden forest, but more in a heat, just a very, very hot desert. Until mere moments pass and the cool winds start to blow, and it's kind of normal now. This sensation of air feels a bit nostalgic. You feel the desert's warm greet you. Not fully, but to some sort of extent. But basically, where you find yourself is in a tunnel. It is dark, but you clearly see dozens of holes poking through the walls and whatnot, that lets out warm air. There is, as you look around, there is baskets, linen bags, and a bunch of crude metal tools. You realize that you're in someone's shed, potentially. Before you, in front of you, there is a simple wooden door. You can hear a commotion of voices echo by the hundreds.
Risky for the biscuit. Vess will go and open the door.
Give me a second. Let me just roll a d20 to see where actually. Oh. Okay. So, the first thing you open the door to is about 4 Aarakocras. Children looks to be like playing catch, running towards the door, but as soon as you open it, they all freeze, look at you, and scream, yelling, "There's a monster in the closet, run!" And everybody fucking scatters. You look around, you see yourself in a street. To your left, you see more warehouses and what seems to be a beggar asleep on the ground, unresponsive. To your right, you see this nice, like, light brown soil as the flooring for about 20 feet, until you realize, looking beyond it, it just is a drop. As you peer down slightly, you realize the drop is to the very ground that is about, Constantine, you reckon maybe a mile and a half? You realize if you just want to jump off, the easiest way to jump to the ground and actually die, if you don't have any preparations, is to literally just go right 20 feet. Constantine, you know that you're somewhere in the underbellies of the Cradle Poros. Not like the slums, because the slums don't really exist, but not at the very height. Not where, what's it called? The lower you are, I guess the more poor the quality is. While you are at the very top, at the very top of the structure, of course you are there. You're basically in some unknown dead-end street, trying to figure out where to go, if you can go. But also what you can see is there's roots everywhere. There's no what some places in the air there's just roots. There's no bridges, no structurally sound pathways. Everything is connected to roots. For you have several decisions to do. You can try to find your way up, down, or try to find something. I'm gonna say.
All right. So, I'm gonna, first thing, I'm gonna see if there's a clear path upwards. We're gonna check that out first. That's the
Everybody
that's the
can roll
obvious.
me investigation.
Yes.
Vess is confused, but
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, it's kind of confusing. You step out and you literally see to your right is basically nothing. To your left is just almost like a dead-end street. And it's like,
15.
I guess Vess was just confused with the claim of a monster in the closet. It's like, huh? Where the fuck? Huh?
yeah. A bunch of Aarakocra kids fucking point a lizard folk. Ah, monster, what?
Ares, please roll again.
Ah, yes, of course.
Are you
Remember.
gonna roll, Constantine?
That's worse.
All right, 1 second. Let me recalculate what our good friend here, Ares, actually got. Not this fake number. All right, 1 second. And these false prophets,
False prophet.
All right, so Ares got a 26 on investigation.
Investigation. Monsters in the closet come out. Happy Pride Month. Oh boy.
Oh.
So, you,
Me.
with the help of Constantine, you quickly realize that the roots are not. How do I say this? They look flimsical as the wind just kind of slightly pushes them with one bigger gust. You notice that they're not gonna break, they're not gonna shatter. People have walked and wandered over them for probably centuries, if not longer. To get up is a tricky task, as this place, specifically this place that you are in, literally has no way upwards. But then you came to this realization as you fly in the distance, like look over to the distance, into the open air, bigger mountains connected by roots, people in other places higher and sometimes even lower visible, and a bunch of birds. And it was even, those are not just like birds randomly flying to find any food. Those are probably druids. They're making their way with, with their own little spells and whatnot. And you realize that as a very epiphany hits you, you see massive rocks perched at the almost like half a mile down, chilling, mind their own business, like massive rocks. You count 6 of them. So, clear way, you could try the route, which would be a tricky endeavor, but you assume there's places to rest, even climbing upwards, and you're not old, so it definitely can climb. The roots will not betray you. Or you could just use your druid form and fly up.
Yeah, but first I will turn to Constantine and simply ask, where are we? What is this place?
Can I have the proper name for it? You gave it to me earlier, but I need to write it down for something then. Let's see.
Cradle Poros.
Cradle. I'm not sure how you're supposed to spell that, Christ. All right, we'll worry about this.
Oh, you wanna know the name?
I was hoping to get the written form, yeah. Boop. Thank you. We're in Cradle Poros. I think this is right up your alley.
Do I recognize the name?
You can roll me a history with advantage. Really, you really don't have a good thing. Anyway, you realize that Cradle Poros is as grand and big of a city, but not as big as Cradle Rocks. Cradle Poros, was another city that was essentially found by the Larian Druids at the formation of Dorian Empire. It were mainly inhabited by Aarakocra, the creatures of air and wind. So instead of trying to persuade them or try to intimidate them to leave this place, they were just left to their own devices. And of course, they've been. Instead of forest, they're in the desert. Kinda. More like a barren wasteland. But
Anyways,
I've never been here before.
have you been here before?
I've never been here before.
No,
except
you have
out
not.
loud.
Has-
he
has
said it
Ves's
in
tribe been here
character.
before?
I said that to Constantine.
Has Ves's tribe been here before? I asked him. I asked them.
Huh?
Has Ves's tribe been here before?
roll me a history check.
Okay, cool.
Wow, Eric, has Theo been here before?
I don't. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna
Very
take a
likely.
wild gamble, I guess, here, if you will.
You
Nope,
never
I have no
have,
idea.
you have never been here, nor have you heard mention of this place.
Okay. And Vess is just shrugging. It's just like, just wait. What's gonna happen?
It's a bit of a druidic experience, if you will. All right, just up this way. Constantine starts walking up the path, up the city. But when we get a higher vantage point, now I have a question, Alexis. My traditional contacts, are they lower or higher in the city, or are they kind of all over the place?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what did you say?
My questionable contacts in the city, are they traditionally on the higher ends of the branches or the lower end?
You know that the Red Raptor is a well-established merchant. Somewhere in the higher echelon. You see, if you find someone in the main streets and ask about it, you probably will find its residents and probably the prison itself.
Yeah, that's perfect. Anyways, yeah. All right, restart. Like we're walking uptown.
I guess we climb.
You climb. Athletics check, everybody.
Oh,
Mm.
athletic.
Time to climb.
I'm just gonna disappear, right? You know.
Bam.
Just,
How far?
What?
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh,
why not?
no! All of you.
I simply ride tape into a spider and use yeah.
So I'm blind and I cannot climb. Great.
Why can you not climb?
Because I rolled a negative.
Oh no!
Like I said, that's one of the things I'm actually kind of good at, and now
So,
Hey, don't
so,
worry.
so.
first net one, the
Wait,
second
did I
net
see
one.
roll the fucking free?
I guess we just failed to get a grip.
So here's how you'll like try to like grab, and you know, it's simple, like, how do I say this? It's a massive black root that has like many smaller roots, and you know, you're trying to grab and grip, and it doesn't really work. And you see to your left, Theo is like looking up and prepares and literally runs and jumps and literally jumps off the cliff.
Wait, are you falling?
Time for
Theo.
Featherfall.
Theo is
Oh,
Aries,
Vess?
Do you have
Bess,
any
no,
fall?
Bess, you're like trying to like get a grip, trying to drag, and it just doesn't feel right. So like you less that you can climb, but you feel like you're gonna put all your weight and it's gonna fucking crack and break and just fall.
But
You
I
know.
also do I notice Theo falling?
Yes, you all see Theo as he just fucking jumps off, completely misses
Okay.
the mark and jumps off and goes free falling.
Okay. Before,
no.
okay then. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Don't worry.
Gonna free fall
Yes.
as well.
No, I'm gonna grab a feather from one of the pouches and then cast Featherfall on Theo. Because they're still in range, I believe.
It's a reaction spell.
Yeah, it's a reaction.
Be glad it is.
Oh,
But
Theo.
I'm casting Featherfall, so
So Theo, you jump off, like just jump, and you start for free fall for a second, and you start all of a sudden something catches you midair, and I'm just floating, and you're slowly descending, looking down. What seems to be, how do I say this? Below you, you see barren plains. Some campfires at the bottom, some camps, some people walking. But they're so far down, and you're now floating, and now the panic sets into, oh god, what now?
Yeah. I want to, because I transformed into spider, so I had one
Oh
climb.
god, no.
Huh?
Oh, Give me a second.
He rolled
Hold on a
wild
I'm
magic.
so sorry.
Hold on a second. Let me get it. 8,000. What?
8546.
8546.
He's gonna laugh.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, that's even worse.
Everybody, please roll me a 2d10.
Me too.
Yes, everybody.
I'm not physically manifested. Are you sure?
But if you witnessed him casting the spell, so you have.
If all right. If that's the wording of it, fair enough.
Oh God! Oh, no! Oh!
Wow, John!
All of a sudden, you feel the sensation in your lower spine as something just kind of sucks. Like some sort of like almost like a piece of skin just stretches in your back, and your entire spine flinches for all of you.
Oh.
Since you're slowly gliding down, yeah. Oh God. Oh no, I don't know how to say this. Oh, this is all. Well, this is gonna be an adventure.
Oh god.
Okay. So, oh no, I'm sorry. I need to make several notes. Oh no. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, before I ask this, are we capable? Is something happening right now, or do we have a chance to do something?
No. You just feel like something like just kind of nips you in the lower spine. Just kind of feel this chill, like kind of comfortable, but it soon
I'll
passes.
figure that out later.
Yeah.
Well, I'll figure that out later. I'm just gonna cast now that Theo is like light as a feather right now. I'm going to re-manifest and cast Mage Hand and slowly Theo back up.
Okay. Wait, did everybody roll? Wait, do something. Someone didn't roll.
You didn't roll what?
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's 4 of you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey. It's gonna be fun.
As Theo, a small little magical hand slowly guides you back onto the branch.
You pinned that. Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. So.
Don't worry about it.
So, yeah, you basically snatch it, just kind of pull it, and with the sudden momentum of the hand, you just kind of tug it back. Besides that, yeah, you can start climbing. As I assume, and wait, Ares not even roll to climb?
Because
He
I
doesn't
have...
need to. He was a spider. He
Oh
still
yeah,
is a spider.
yeah. So,
The spider, not one.
climbing up the route, you basically feel like you climb like 20 feet and you see almost like a street. And there you see some houses as well. And you see the 3 the air cockroaches have been playing that got spooked by you. Basically drawing on the floor with sticks. How up would you go? That's my question. Because you realize that there's like 1,500 feet to go upwards still.
If there's nothing to do here, then there's nothing to do but go up at this point. I mean,
We can ask someone where they are.
where they? Well, I mean, where who are?
Your contact, if you want to ask someone.
True, I could, but this isn't quite his. He's not this low down. I'm sure I could ask some questions as we get higher up, but the main thing here is that
So basically, trying to climb as much as you can upwards, right? On the
yeah, to the higher echelons where you know the proper people are.
Yeah. So it takes you about 200 feet, about 2 minutes in, and you basically make to the very top. And there's plenty of routes that are stretching out, and people are basically not more like climbing down, but more like jumping off and latching to the roots or flying downwards. As most people you noticed are Aarakocra, not humans, not dwarves, not elves, Aarakocra, people with wings. Making up to the, I guess, 200 feet, it's actually more of a street, less of a dead end. You see shops, you smell cooked foods, you see people in these busy streets. A lot better. Not higher echelons, but more civil.
I'm guessing we're also made up in some way, so I guess we're just confused.
You would eventually make your way, but man, that was. If you wanna figure out where Red Raptor might be, roll me investigation constantly for you.
Before it, like, actually, do I want to do something before that? Do I actually care that much? The answer is no, I don't care that much. Anyways, investigation, you say?
Yes.
Alright, we're gonna do some bullshit magic, don't mind me.
Oh boy.
As I look throughout his, that's a
Yeah.
nat 20.
Yeah. So you take several, less than a minute to just find some Aarakocras that are seem of merchant type, not like passerbys who would not answer or that would not even bother out of fear or something else. You literally ask, "Do you know of a red raptor?" And they like like the first fucking Aarakocra you meet, it goes behind a stool. I don't know, what of it?
Yeah, at this point, like, the others are kind of like watching over the city, like, and I let them know, like, while I'm asking around, like, oh, I'm gonna search for a friend real quick as I walk over to these birds and have this conversation.
Can I sit on your shoulder as a spider?
Yeah, you can listen in on this conversation, you're free to. Oh, I'm just reaching up to an old friend. He smiles.
Their Aarakocra's eyes widen. Well, you got quite a friend.
Oh, intimately.
He has a whole street to it. Go find the red square. He kind of points at like a good 100 feet away from you. You see this route. Climb up there at the very top and then ask and they'll give you directions. It's a whole square painted in red.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. He's gotten an upgrade.
Aye, from its recent endeavors. He shakes his head.
Good smiles. Thank you. I'll remember you.
Oh, no.
And as he looks up to the group, kind of like, all right, I know where we need to go.
And where's that?
No one of concern.
Best friends. More climbing.
More climbing? Oh, and I suggest, at least mentally, you prepare an idea of what you might want to purchase. This is in the shop for cheap goods.
There's the shrugs.
As a spider, like, moves his entire body up and down to indicate.
Don't worry, mate. I'm in your head. You can. As
Of course, I forgot.
As with that said, uh, I guess if the direction is clear, Rexus, I will lead them.
Yeah, so the road is visible, plenty of people walking up and down. You see some wary looks from her cockles, but they do not mind you. They just kind of maybe look at you with odd. See, you haven't seen any other race up until this point. But when you make your way up, you do find a lot of openings and clearings, and eventually you're climbing onto the side of the mountain, and you basically see about a dozen or so of other mountains spread over a mile or so apart. They're intertwined with these rude bridges as you're climbing one of these mountains upwards. Of course, every 100 or so feet there is a stop, a place carved in the mountain for you to sit down and rest if you want. But nevertheless, you make to the very top, and you do find yourselves onto more pleasant streets, more that would resemble for Constantine a town center, more refined, more beautiful, more cared for. And you don't even need to ask, as in the city center almost, there is buildings of stone. Not of bricks, mind you, but ones that have been carved out of the mountain. And you see several buildings being coated in this not like blood red paint, out of like, occasionally blue, maybe yellow with some highlights, but there's just several buildings, one by another. It is just, you know where to go.
Right. Off we go. This way. Oh, do you know what perhaps you want to kind of he looks over at you, Theo, first, looks at your equipment, then over at you, Vess, and looks at yours. What you plan to inquire?
Vesta shrugs. We lost Neres.
God, Aries. Very well, I will leave it to my impulse. But you shop around for a bit. I know you don't have any money on you, but if you find something particularly useful, let me know. He picks up Ares like softly and then puts Ares on Vess's shoulder. I have a personal business trip to make real quick. I'm so sorry to do it on the job, but it will be quick, and I hope it benefits all of us. Smiles. I'll be watching. And Constantine walks off in a direction. As you guys are now left without guidance in the middle of a large marketplace. Have fun.
Oh, okay. So what shops are around? What can we see?
We've lost the Rexes.
No. Well, how do I say this? You can see market stalls. Not even like you see buildings, but the buying and selling comes not in there, but in the open bazaar in the center. Shouting, screeching, a lot of fucking screeching, as competitive capitalism is in effect. Fruits, vegetables, common goods, jewelry, pendants, trinkets. For everybody's eyes and leisure, is there anything you would seek?
Divination tools.
So I'm gonna get this weird feeling in my spine.
Basically anything that can use for magical divination.
You all had that feeling for a good few seconds and it passed.
But we don't know what it is.
No.
It's nothing. It's past. No need to worry about it. This won't have later consequences.
Oh,
Smiley face. Totally not. Don't worry about it.
Touch of death. Okay, well, I guess it's I don't feel anymore. Just go like looking around. What would Vess want at this point?
Theo's just going to look into any random direction and start walking down the market, looking left and right.
Yeah. As I'm a spider on your shoulder, I follow you. I can't really not follow you.
Okay.
But Ares looks if he can see anything that seems magical or druidic or some kind of magical focus for the
I think Theo would just look for anything that looks like a good extension to his yeah, like anything that would look like a good weapon.
I can do that.
That's what Wes would want.
No, we don't have
Well,
money.
you can all roll investigation. What about you?
Investigation, is it?
Yeah.
I have
Well, we don't need money. I have
I
intimidation.
do have advantage, or do I not have? Are you doing something else right now?
Constantine walked off in a direction. You're not sure where he's going, but apparently a meeting?
Yeah, then I'm not. Then you aren't helping at this, so I'm just another one.
Oh no, Ares, you got lost. 5 seconds. You're lucky you're with Vest.
I'm like I'm with West, yeah.
You're lucky you're...
Vess hasn't moved yet. Raxus?
Yes.
Magical awareness.
What is magical awareness?
Magic awareness. As an action, you can open your awareness to the presence of concentrated music. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover.
Oh my fucking god.
Where he's gonna get flashbanged with that.
Yeah. Like in a minute, like you look at the street and you fucking get fucking flashbanged by over almost 1,000 items of all kinds of specialization and uses, scrolls, small trinkets, pendants, weapons, you know, just you know, just
Also, and by the way, just another thing, when you sense a spell, you can learn which school of magic it belongs to, but I guess nobody's casting magic, so me.
yeah, no. Well, actually, there
Oh,
are
someone's
some
casting
cantrips.
magic.
There are some cantrips that are being casted by some people, almost not like street artists, to basically almost, you know, gather a crowd for coin, if you will.
So, as Vess does this, she blinks a few times, then rubs her eyes.
I do, mind you, if you're in a busy little place and you're like, I want to see what kind of magical items are around, it's equivalent of like being in dead of night with night vision goggles and say, what if I just turn on the lights?
I know. That's why I want to do it, because Vess is stupid enough to try that. Because Vess hasn't done something that stupid yet. It's like, I know, I can find the biggest magic. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Not doing that again.
Yet.
Okay. I guess, what's the closest stall to Vess?
Less of a stall, more like a carts of fresh vegetables. You've never seen this kind of vegetable before. It's this massive green thing that is big as your head, and it has leaves. AKA cabbage, but you don't know what it is.
I go to check the cabbage cart. Just to check, it's like, interesting. Cabbages. I've never seen cabbages before. I swear if the wind destroys it and he shouts my cabbages, I'm gonna mute myself because of how much laughter I'm gonna have to release.
Surprisingly enough, it is as you are here in the upper echelons, there's more different races, and the cart of cabbages is being protected by a gnome. Seems to be too sophisticated to bear a mere merchant, but seeing as you approach, he goes, "Ah, my good madam, interested in some cabbage?" He picks up a head.
Cabbage.
Never
Aye.
seen such plants before.
Vegetable of the champions, I must assure you.
He says vegetable of the champion. Do I
champions.
know is he that he's just doing the typical spiel?
Insight.
Let's see if Bess is gonna buy a cart of things out of stupidity. This isn't fun. Oh, insight's not that bad. Oh yeah. Don't worry. 20.
Oh yeah.
No, 30.
You look at this gnome that is like, you look at this gnome and go like, I don't think he's being legitimate at the moment. I do not believe that he might be telling me the truth. Oh, I actually found how he kind of looks. Give me a second. And I love when I see exactly what I'm looking for. He looks like this. Like too well dressed for it to be a merchant. He goes, "Don't worry about it. It is the best quality produce available in Cradle Poros. Believe you me. Exported halfway through the world, you will not find anything more delicious."
Well, she hasn't tried cabbage yet, but she does the smart thing and looks at the spider Aries on her shoulder.
What do you know about this?
Aries,
Uh,
you know cabbages. They're not as good as this gnome says they are, but they look very healthy and well grown. You can almost suspect that probably it was grown by druids, right? Very luscious, looking fresh, big.
I tilt my head and tilt my body left and right and left and right. But in the, I'm not sure if Wes can understand what I mean.
Vince's liking that.
But basically, so it's what he's trying to say.
I see. We are travelers, and we have come looking for supplies for wars against the.
She pausing for a moment. If she wants to say the word demons, thinking for a moment, and then Spain says, "Yes, versus
The demonic kind.
She just plain old states that.
The gnome especially rubs its mustache, even to say, well, He picks up another cabbage. Well, this cabbage is very great against demons. Wards off protection against it. And of course, if they eat it, they will choke on it and die. You can roll another
This
insight.
cabbage is the best darn cabbage.
Yeah, best
Oh.
cabbage ever.
Oh god. We're doing this stupid shit.
And
Oh, 15 still.
you actually believe. Give me a second. Let me see if you can roll higher. Yeah, you actually believe that this type of cabbage can ward off demons, and if they eat it, they will perish.
I can roll insight on that one. Or
Sure.
do I even need to? Do I even need to? Do I need to?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You think to yourself, man, this is too good to be true, and then you like bull like your house. He's selling cabbages. When in the hell cabbages, ward off anything, let alone a demon? You clearly know it's lying. It's fucking lying to you.
I want to climb up. I want to climb up onto Vessel's face and like
So you climb on on her face, like. So she's looking at a spider. You. So it's like,
shaking the body like left right. No. Not tilting this time. Just shaking everybody.
The gnome kind of stares at you, Vess, and just kind of points to your face. Excuse me, madam. It seems someone is on your face. Are these the demons you speak of? He grabs a piece of cabbage, just kind of tears a leaf, and just gives it to you and says, "Quickly, wipe it off. You'll see how good are these cabbages against spiders and other vile insects."
I just extends one leg towards the cabbage piece.
okay, and Bess is just gonna look at what's going on because now she's just confused.
Gimme.
So, yeah, go ahead, Ares. What are you doing?
He's extending like two front legs towards the cabbage piece.
Bess is specifically looking confused at it, but I guess she has to take. Ares is telling her to take it, so she goes to take it and look at it.
Then extending towards you because I just want to extending the legs towards you and the cabbage piece.
Puts it near her face.
I start eating cabbage.
Okay.
The cabbage
Okay.
leaf.
Okay, what does she eat? It's like, is it? Bess is more like internally thinking, I have no idea what's going on. Just going with it.
No, my good madam, just wipe off the insect. It's. He starts to like kind of show his own face, like it's here.
I just like lifts a leg towards the merchant and waves it around.
It looks confused.
And internally starts thinking free food.
Kind of looks at fusion. And just kind of goes silent for a few seconds. And then coughs. Well, so since you tried my samples, willing to buy a head or two, maybe a whole cart, taps the cart.
This is like
I don't know. My companion might know better.
You see more like a visible, confused look at Fess. She is really out of her element now.
Question is the cabbage good? Eraxos, is the cabbage good?
It's actually just kind of like, it's good, but it's like it's just cabbage. It's nothing amazing about it.
Then Ares again turns to look towards in the eyes of Ves and shakes the body, indicating no.
I still do not understand spider speak.
She just says that's like she's just very confused now with all the social cues. It wasn't meant for the city.
Yeah, I guess after Ares is eating enough of this cabbage, he travels towards his shoulder and jumps off. And as he does that, he wild jumps back into his human form.
Yeah.
The gnome looks bewildered. But then he kind of just composes himself. Excuse me, sir. Would you like a cabbage? Can both of you roll insight?
Again? Okay.
I'm not. He's not interested in cabbage.
19. Fez is smarter than Ares at this point. Victory for Fez.
You both realize that this little merchant of cabbage is being a dishonest little shit with you. He's trying to run the cabbage business, completely being a grifter, trying to pretend like he does not know what is going on. As long as you buy his cabbages, everything will be fine.
Yeah, Ares just gives him like a small bow and says it was good, and then tries to drag Ves along away from there.
I guess Vez just gets dragged along. He's confused. He's in a confused state. He's easily dragged along.
Okay, so
I can go better cabbages than that.
What do you say?
I can go grab better cabbages than that.
Okay. Go ahead, Alexis.
yeah,
Did we lose Theo?
no, Theo is kind of lost. As he's
I mean,
looking
it did
for,
look alone.
he's looking for weaponry, but looks at cutlery.
Wait, what am I looking at?
Because you rolled on 12, right?
Yeah, I think.
So
Yeah.
so literally what you're doing is you found the first sharp object, but this was like this intimidating looking dagger, and slowly but you're trying to realize as you're starting to look at this fine selection of these bronze blades that they're not exactly for killing, but more like for fine dining. As there's this like, as is he a very patient dwarf just kind of looks at Theo as Theo just kind of examines every single individual blade. Most of them are blunt. So
We should be looking for a place to make money, not use money. Anyway. I guess Ares continues looking for some magical stuff. Magical shop. Magic.
look from
Yeah, and I think he has the idea that magic shops are supposed to look very weird. He's trying to look for a weird place. Weird looking place.
sure, roll me investigation then.
20. Yeah. Or roll a 10, yeah.
You find no such place. Constantine, what about you,
Hell, I am going over to my bird friend.
your bird friend? Okay. Boy. So, how are you gonna approach? Because technically, when you go towards the red buildings, you see that there's like several stores in them, very fine quality silks, wares, spices, something that would befit, uh, the rich, the plentiful, the ones who have the coin to spend. Um, how would you like? You don't see her anywhere.
Mm.
We're gonna look for her. You're gonna try. I'm gonna try to figure out where she
Locate
is.
creature.
Oh my fuck! You do you? Okay.
You're gonna bullshit around with that. I know I'm doxing.
Fucking IP address and everything. You take but a moment and you see like this nice clothing store, which is half basically selling of silk and other exotic looking cloths to essentially tailors that are sewing custom suits, other wardrobe items. And in the second or third floor of this building, you find your car.
Mm.
You know that in the third floor, there she is somewhere.
Yep.
Probably by the
I'm
window.
gonna walk up to that store.
Huh?
Hello.
There's like a old Air Cocker, maybe 20, like 30, 40 by the looks of it. Quiet in his father ears and goes, yes, gentlemen, how can I help you?
Hmm. I am looking to make contact with an old friend. Can you let the nice lady at the third floor know that he leans in? Constantine is here. He leans back.
Well, the pleasant demeanor is all that he can offer you. As soon as you whisper your name, the king, not king, the cocker takes several steps back, almost flinching. Clearly, eyes of fear, and immediately starts nodding. Right away. Please. Cocker looks around and whistles sharply through his beak as one of the younger cockroaches takes notice out of her sewing. She stares at the older cockroach and stares at you as he points and says, "Keep the master busy. I'll be here shortly," as he starts to climb up basically round staircase upwards. This a lot younger cocker approaches you, takes a polite bow, and just kind of stares at you. Not like awkward, but more like she is at your full disposal.
There's a look down of like air cockroach. They're short fellas. They're like he's looking down and there's this like bright, lovely smile. As you could tell, so many ideas go through his head before
Oh no!
before he shakes his head, realizing he's still on the job for the moment. And and she leans down, just pats the head of the bird, then strokes a cheek before leaning back up. Another time, perhaps.
Their cocker doesn't seem. Can you roll me an insight check?
Sure. This most cursed check of my. Let's see. How insightful am I? Not terribly insightful. Turns out I don't really give a shit about what other people think. Oh.
Ooh. This. You recall about 9-10 years ago. You don't remember the exact points. Somewhere along the lines, you met a similar Aarakocra now known as the Red Raptor. She has the same gaze, the same look. You realize, is it her daughter? But then when you give like almost like a semi-offer of things to come, there's a blush, and all of a sudden, as you try to let go, she snatches your hand just ever so slightly, tries to gently hold it, but does not like grab you with force. You realize she wants what she has witnessed. She is willing to make a deal with you.
You know, there's Ares vanishes again. No, there is a moment before he gets down on, like, you know, he lowers himself a tad bit, so he's closer to eye level, still standing above. As he looks
how
down.
tall are you?
Yeah, he is like 5'11", so not super tall, but this is an Aarakocra, so. With that, he looking at, like, she has his full undivided attention in this moment, and she knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks, what do you wish?
She almost with a devilish glare. With the natural 20 still going on, not natural 20, 24, you realize that this is not one of those Hercocras that are good of heart. This is one of those. This one's that's devious, cutthroaty types. The ones that are willing to maybe sever a vein or two for the sake of more pleasurable life. She leans closer and whispers into your ear, almost like as if holding out or embracing a hug. Tired of this wicked bitch's schemes. I wish to be free. I know you granted my mother this before, but for a price. I want to have it all.
And what are you willing to pay to have it all? He kind of leans it, his eyes closely meeting hers at this point.
At that time, the older Kokra stumbles back from the second floor to the first floor. Question: are you gonna continue this conversation? Or are you gonna step away?
As she walks off, I let my hand glide as I step back and wink. And it is very clear he intends to pick this up at a more opportune time after his initial business is handled. So,
the older Kokra just nods and says, he's awaiting your esteemed presence. As he takes a bow and gives like a hand motion towards the stairways.
and as he starts walking along, he looks over at the young lady and motions her to follow.
Oh, Jesus fucking! Oh.
Perhaps you see where I'm going with this.
I see, yes, I see, potentially. So,
potentially.
Oh man. So, it takes you but a minute, and there is almost like a, what's it called? The entire shop goes into silence. As you declare that you want her to come with, he starts to walk. The older Crocker almost disallows for a split second before he flinches and just turns away, letting her to walk by. Taking, following her behind quite close. You go up to second and then the third floor. And the third floor is, man, how do I describe this? It is more gold, jewels, mainly ruby, encrusted in the walls, ceilings, everywhere. Paintings and art. It's not a big room, but it's more of wealth than anything else. And there is these massive two almost gold encrusted doors that are slightly ajar.
Are they opened for? Oh, there.
Yes,
sorry,
they're
jars, yeah.
open. They're clearly open to easily.
And I walk in with the confidence of, well, infinite confidence, really.
Oh boy. Wait, do I have them?
The confidence of constant. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, as you walk in, or is it? Did I lose the image again? God fucking damn. As you walk in, you see a familiar Cockra. Red and crimson are her feathers, reminding you of dusk. Once upon a time, he was nothing but a beggar on the street, doing everything and anything to make a living. She found you, or rather, you found anyone that is willing to give their souls for anything. And she asked for wealth, a lot of it. Now, clearly, as every section, every joint that does not bother is covered in gold and ruby encrusted jewels. She sits almost half naked pompously.
Pompously, you said.
Yes. She is very pleased to see. As soon as you walk in, she gives a very, very long bow. But then there is a disdain across her face as she brought someone behind.
And with that, I kind of I motion for her to basically, like the girl I took him with you. I motion her to just, I point to the very like ajar door for her just to stand right there at the beginning of the door. And I walk closer. It seems you are doing well.
I am, Sir Cook. Your gifts have not gone a waste.
I can tell. A whole district to yourself. To think you would be once running the streets you begged on.
And I owe everything to you.
That you do. But for the moment, I am on bigger business. The boss, I mean, kind of his expression goes from smiling to straight, has me on my last mission. So it's very important that you're cooperative. kind of with that, he motions, and like with a flick of his finger, a mage hand closes the door behind him. The ajar door.
Is
Sealed.
the lady that you brought is in the room with you or behind?
Yeah, she's like right, like her back's right next to the door right now. Like somebody, like he's just traveling with the no. And he kind of, with that, he loosens his tie a bit, and a familiar pack of cigarettes manifest in his hand. You hear it before. So, with all this said, I'll get straight to business. A small demon incursion here, some demonic invasion there. My master has big plans. But he kind of walks. I'm guessing there's like a big,
Yes, it's
excessive window.
It's like not. It's like 90 by 90. There's like about 20 to 30 feet of window that is just overseeing. Like it got like 200 feet of the mountain, and then just roots and other mountains, and you can see in below in the street, just the very edges, you can see a familiar lizard walking very clearly to see.
You see that lizard? That, and he points to the shoulder where he knows the spider should be. I don't know if I can actually see it.
Oh, you see
little
that you see that it now has Aries.
Druid, that half-orc, and that human are very important tools for the future of this world. And I want to see them equipped with the necessary material to ensure that they see their use to the end. I hope you know the honor that it is that I ask you of this.
She takes a few steps towards the window, peers through it. And you can see her golden eyes glint, seeing them walk. It looks at you with a smile. But of course, your bidding is my command. Whatever they wish, I can procure.
They're too stupid to know what they want. Pick it yourself. Rich Aries. There. As he kind of looks around at the office, you know, all the gold, all the shining, so on. Let's see, do I have this on me? It's a real good question. I do not at the moment. All right, we're not going to worry about that then. Looking at all of this question here, the little air cockra, the little
Yeah.
one. Can I like? Are they related to each other, or is it just similarities in how they look?
Similarities. Maybe you realize maybe they're of some same tribe because they're both red, but she has a different pattern, so it's not related. You with a 24 still hanging somewhere there, you realize maybe they're not related, but maybe the red raptor knew her mother, and maybe the little one and maybe the red raptor doesn't know that that she knew her mother.
With that said, he kind of look like glancing back at her after looking at the room. Give the order, and there's one final piece of business we have before. As you-
she just stares
Yeah.
at you.
He's. You've done well for yourself. How. Forgive me. Time passes so quickly. How old have you gotten?
Deep
This
sigh.
is-
I know there's a saying about never asking women of her age, but I'm merely 15 years of age.
Question: Fair and Cocker years.
Hmm?
How much does she have left on her?
Whew. Well, this is a very tricky matter because she might be not even. It really depends on health. Seeing as she has everything and she has the riches, she could probably easily maintain her beauty like this in her prime, maybe up to 60, and maybe hold out if she lives like her life to the fullest up to 90.
And looking at what she's accomplished, do I feel like she's peaked? Right? I've seen a lot of people come in and out. Do I feel like this is where she's limited herself? Do you think?
You've seen people already dying from what you have given more in like a year. Is she has peaked at this very second for now? Maybe. But in her lifetime, potentially, probably not. Because you last you remember, she was basically a beggar. She basically almost gave like a blank check to do as she wished, and made sure that nobody really snatched her at the first moment. You were the proprietor of wealth and assurance of safety for a handful of weeks. Her soul belongs to you, and then you just kind of left off as the job was done.
So she's still got some mileage left.
True. She could.
She could. And I'm going to be clear here that I think she very much understood what I was saying when I brought that girl in. That if I was not happy with how things were going, that she was going to get replaced right then and there. And I am not really hiding that. That was very clearly the intention when bringing that girl in.
Oh, you assume she's
As-
aware of that.
Yeah, I assume if she wasn't, she would have already been replaced. As I nod. Honestly, I thought this would have been, kind of looks out the window once more, where things ended with you. But turns out, you have been more productive than I predicted. And good behavior deserves rewards.
Let me roll when you say that. Give me a second. Oh. As you stare at her, saying that, trying to figure out a response, she glares at you, almost like a hawk seeing a fresh prey just in front of her. But then her gaze softens, and she all of a sudden looks out through the window, and she seems to be clawing somewhere around her chest. Can you roll me an insight check?
I don't know if I need to. I think I get the vibe of what's going on here. But sure. Let's see how insightful I'm feeling today. Oh.
Ooh. You feel like for first few seconds there are probably a handful of things she would have asked you almost immediately. Probably someone's family getting rid of, just out of the face of the earth. Maybe some particular event that would benefit her in her trading. Maybe some other divine intervention or whatnot. But then everything just stopped. She just stared at you. And she looked at you for a few seconds, and then she found you wanting. Then she realized what she just thought about and looked away. She all of a sudden realized that there's one thing that she really wants, but she cannot ask. Because asking that might be a bit too fucked. Not in that way, but more like it could be very volatile.
And so, with that said, anyways, before any of that, I look over. How much, how much HP would I gauge the little bird has over there?
The little bird?
Yeah.
Young, relatively attractive for a cockra. Probably 8, 9.
Perfect. I just need to double check Eldritch Blast damage real quick. Just.
No.
Alright, so about 9 HP you said, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like, And I suppose it's time to clear up loose ends. He puts out his hands, Eldritch blasts the bird. Do you want me to roll to hit?
No, but roll me a damage.
Okay. Alright, let's...
Oh, there's the murder. There's evil murder.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dead.
You. It sounds less of like a blast, more like a pop of a burning log, where additional sap ignites and just crackle as you let out a single blast. You first confused, then also surprised, Arakokra. Before she can even extend or say anything, her entire body shines in what colors are Eldritch Blast?
It's like your deep necrotic purple.
Yeah, just in this purple haze, as you don't hear a falling of body, you just hear crackle of bones as the entire body evaporates into dust and bone, and the bones themselves start to open and pop and crackle and start to disintegrate. As the Erkokra, or rather, stares at the body, completely unflinching, not caring, but she sighs and says, "You worked hard. Oh well." Stares at you with a smile.
Oh. Now, are you ready for a small gamble? And I pull out a few dice. And put them on the desk as I walk to the other side of the desk.
She nods. Depending
Roll
on the
the
wager.
dice. It's only beneficial. As she's going to roll the dice, and since her soul is mine, and a powerful asset that hasn't capped out yet is right in front of me, and I'm feeling a bit bored, I would like to use a wish spell to grant her unnatural cunning and wisdom.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And we're going to say, like, the D100 I roll here is what she rolls on those dice.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, alright, boys. This is gonna be either
Oh,
really
no.
bad for her or really good. Let's.
Do you
Does she
want it?
take the dice and roll them?
Oh, is she gonna roll? Okay, let me roll.
Oh, okay, you could roll the D100.
16.
16. How much of a blessing will a 16 get
You
on a
know,
wish spell?
give me a second. Let me roll
Wait,
something.
do you want me to make that better?
You can, I guess.
Give me a second. Hold up. I need to roll something specific. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
You might want to do something, Constantine.
As you
Nah,
wish
that's not
as you wish for it as she rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Dice roll poorly. She looks at him and flinches. And then there's something unnatural, some sort of glare in her eyes. She seems to look at the dice, and then playfully with her claws rummage through the set of dice. Her eyes seemingly gazing past somewhere. She's seeing something you don't. For a brief second, it kind of freaks you out.
Oh.
Yeah. And then she extends her claw back. Almost not, no more, there's no more sensation of wanting to play a game. And she's all of a sudden in default for a few seconds until she returns a warm smile to you and says, "A final deal, you say? Might I ask, Master Constantine, what are your plans after it?"
Good question. There's. Oh, look. He looks out the window for a second as he goes into thought for a moment. It depends. The boss might just kill me there. He kind of waves his head back and forth, maybe. He could extend the contract. That'll be something. But if I do get out in the clear, I think I'll have some fun.
She goes through her drawers as she pulls out a small cache of obsidian, just an obsidian chest, as there are like a lot of rings and whatnot. Some are, in these nice boxes, and then she pulls out a simple wooden box and presents it in front of you, and then puts everything else back and closes. She looks at you, kind of saddened. I adore you, Master Constantine. Always have. Your life matters a lot to me. As once my life fully dependent on your hands. I, for this once, would like to return a favor, as she presents the wooden box in front of you and open it. It's a simple copper ring on this purple bedding.
Do I understand what this is?
Roll me Arcana.
That I can do. Not very well, but I can. It's a bit of a magic flair here and there. And we will see. Usually I identify, but we'll just see what Arcana brings up. We'll just see. 27.
You have no clue what this ring is, but you know who made it, or who probably got it from. You know this abyssal merchant called the Sender and Deliverer. He offers quite a lot of things, trinkets and baubles from the great merchants for those who have money, with almost, limitless pockets, and of course, the Red Raptor is one of them. At this very moment, at the very least, and probably you. As she presents the ring to you and continues, I believe once you are free, you will have nowhere to go. I would like that not to be the case. So I bid you, Master Constantine, put on the ring.
I walk up, and this clearly wasn't on his agenda or plan. He seems genuinely a mixture of entertainment and intrigue.
Can you roll
Like-
me an insight check on your own?
You sure can. Let's double check you. Yes. Because there is, I look at this. This is interesting. This is unexpected.
A revelation as you peer in. There have been a handful of deceptions you tried to do through your centuries of livelihood. Always interrupted and disrupted by your master. But now, as you look at the ring, a revelation dawns upon you. The gaze is turned away. Your master, the boss that you've been,
He's
following.
busy with other things.
Yes, his eyes are turned away from you. And then you realize something. Maybe the insight, the cunning you tried to wish upon your subject gave her that revelation as well.
As I look at that moment, and with a 28, like a 28 insight, is she bullshitting me? Am I about to get myself cursed and killed?
This lady has never loved anything except for wealth. Probably the memories of several people that she killed with her own bare claws, witnessing their choked up faces go to, non-existence, and probably you. On all pressed things, she probably would admit to all except for the last. At least the point that it would feel like she's being genuine. Well, at least she's not being genuine with you at the moment.
Knowing who this is from, I pick it up. There's a dash of magic as I cast Identify. You don't have to give me a description here, but if it isn't gonna screw me over immediately, you can tell me what happens after I put it on.
It is okay. It doesn't. It doesn't. But essentially, as you put it on, all of a sudden, the entire body freezes for a second, as if somebody dunked you in a cold bath, and immediately the heat of the surrounding area reimburses in your body. You feel odd for a moment, as if a piece of you was left here. As for the item, it's the band of second chances. You know what it is. Yeah,
you're gonna have to send me the description again, but I know.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness, I noticed. All right. With that said, there's an almost unnervingly wide smile on Constantine's face as he looks up at the ever so loyal, uh, minion bird, whatever name placeholder
You-
comes to his mind,
You chicken!
and
I love you!
you chicken. I love you, chicken. As a minor illusion sweeps across his fingers, and the glass turns dark, and the room's lighting shifts, turning what was once a two-way mirror into a two-way window into a one-way mirror, almost. As no one can see what happens in this room now. A quick sending message to Ira. Negotiations will last just but a few hours.
You mean us?
Eh.
But yeah, I understand.
I will.
I just tilted head, not knowing what you mean. He tried to ask you, what does that mean?
There is no response. As Constantine walks up, he's been on the job for a while now, and he's looking for a distraction for the moment. And it is fitting to reward loyal minions. As he walks up, and he gently puts his hand at the bottom of the beaker and pulls her closer as it fades to black.
Oh,
You guys can have the scene.
I'll be honest, it's not the worst thing you ever done as Constantine.
It is not even close. And you guys can have the scene back. I am.
Technically, the question if you like aircrackers, are you a scaly or a furry? Because they both have both.
Fairy? Fairy.
No. Look, Constantine isn't a furry or a scaly. He's perverted. There's a difference.
He's a degenerate. He likes everything.
There is no.
If they're an evil bitch, he will love it.
Alright, with that said, the scene is back in your guys' hand, with Ares being left with a single message, with no further responses coming in for about an hour.
Wait, what was the message?
Negotiations will last for an hour or two.
Oh, man. Well then, yeah, that is correct. Well then, somewhere in the street. So there's the three of you, Ares, Theo, and Vess in a Cradle Poros. Is there anything you like to look? Because I mean, you didn't really find anything that you're seeking.
Yeah.
I guess as long as the thing is, Viz isn't looking for anything because she thinks she's fine. I mean, the only thing she needs is an army, and you don't find an army in the middle of the street, do you?
An army?
Remember, she was told to find an army.
Oh yeah, true.
That's still in her head.
But you can't find a dining knife, so that's something.
Yeah.
So apparently there aren't any good weapons on this whole market. Or at least I'm not able to find any.
But
Yeah.
you do find, how does this? You do find several bronze weapons, maces, axes, and swords. They're well crafted, elegantly crafted, but they're not.
For fighting.
Well, how do I say this? I think the warhammer that you possess, that is tried and tested, is a lot better.
Okay.
Oh no, Sophie can draw that. Let's go.
No. Be gone. Be gone, dark impulsive thoughts, Araxis.
You would need to pay me so much money for that.
And for the bleach afterwards.
Exactly. That's drawing with here in my eyes. I'm going to kill myself tomorrow.
Oh no.
You have to
Not
pay
touching
for the
any
funeral
buttons.
service, the bleach.
Can you roll psychic damage?
Give me a second. I have so many.
No, don't.
Give me a second. There you
I
go.
thought you were going
Give me a
to.
second.
I
let
have
me-
just image for that.
Yeah, I have an image for it. Give me a second.
Oh.
There you go. Take me on.
No, this is so God. I'm deleting this as a moderator.
Ah,
Yeah, probably a good idea for stream reasons.
I was in the middle of reporting it. So yeah, good.
But yeah.
With that.
Yeah, well, what are the three of you would like to do now in completely, new place that none of you have been, and you're literally like, yeah, well, let us go to this place for 5 minutes, and the guy who brought you here just fucking leave.
Yeah. Ah, of course.
Explore, have some fun, meet new people.
We can ask people. I forgot about that.
You need items, Ares. You and Theo need items. Vez is like, I know what I need. I'm gonna stay on guard. Now I'm just gonna stay on guard for suspicious people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when Eris finally realizes that he can ask people, he goes to some store clerk or something.
And what would
And
you like to ask?
He asked them if there is any magic stuff for druids here. Magic druid.
The person you ask, you know what? Roll me a just roll me a d20 and see which is the you get this epiphany and you look at the nearest stall and what do you find? Oh, cool! You find a cockra that is young, seemingly selling crafts made of bone of several different animals. Pendants, amulets, necklaces, and for cheap, several silver pieces, a single bone work. And you ask, and it just asks back at you, anything particular you're looking for?
Well, anything that can help with divination. And maybe some fire magic.
You wish to know fire magic.
Or to make my fight a bit better, maybe.
Do you perchance are a druid?
And odds.
Are you not from here, druid?
Not from here.
It all of a sudden takes a few steps off its stall and kind of gives a motion to you. Follow.
Yeah. Eris turns to Veth and Theo, I guess. Moment, Theo.
Theo's somewhere else, but Vez will follow you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still in the dining knife store, technically.
So it literally takes you about 30 feet to the edge of the mountain where there are roots, people walking by, and their cockroach just squats down by the edge and points downward south into the horizon, but not really. Can I both of you roll perception check?
Thing that Vez is good at. Perceiving things.
Something Theo's not good at.
Jesus fucking
Apparently we're
Christ!
both as unperceptive as it.
That's
You
so
know,
perfect.
the wind blowing, the commotion, and our cockroach just kind of points in the script direction and just says, "There. Go there. Temple of Fire. Many druids will help." Okay? He looks at you, Eris, in confirmation.
It nods.
Okay.
That's not
Pats you on the shoulder and stands up and proceeds to walk back to his counter.
Should we go? Yes, that's.
Mind you, he pointed south, not in this vicinity, but south into the horizon, down the valley that is beneath you. It could take for God knows how long to reach wherever you're looking for, because you don't even know what you're looking for.
Yeah. South, down the valley. Maybe we should wait for the others.
Vest just nods.
I see no other way. I see nothing in the distance. Let us see what we can find more.
Whoops.
Vest just goes in the opposite direction and just looks around. It's like, you know what? Anything can do right now. So Vest is just looking around for anything that just like looks interesting enough to get her attention.
I mean, Theo,
Yes.
as the dwarf was very patient, dwarf eventually goes, "Come on, lad. These are not for stabbing. These are for cutting meats and steaks, and for fancy folk."
I'm just turning to him. Are you implying I'm not fancy? I'm just.
No, not that I say I am, but you're kind of just, like proceeds to do like a stabbing motion in the air. You kind of be just like, stab.
I'm just shaking my head. That's really rude. Just taking the knife down and going out of the shop. I'm actually trying to look for a place that sells books or anything like that. Maybe a library, maybe a market for that.
Roll me investigation check. Oh no.
Jesus, investigation.
Oh my god. You literally walk out, take a few steps out, look around, and literally no more than 20 feet away, there is this stall in the outside that is less tall, more books. And there is a very bored-looking half-elf lady, in her 20s, seemingly just reading one of the books that she's selling in the shade. Completely oblivious of the surroundings, completely immersed herself in the book.
Oh,
Um,
you did
um,
it.
I'm going towards her and I'm saying, I'm sorry, do you have any books about jinns?
She almost sort of flinches, slaps the book close, and immediately hides it.
Did I see what we was reading?
Roll me a perception check. Jesus fucking Christ.
And there's some good rolls.
It is a simple book. It was basically a red letter cover, and in black letterings there was just a title above desert sands. It had no other words or anything, and you do find the book in question like in the stack, in the stacks of other books, because there's plenty of books with names and no names. Would you like to see what it has, what the contents are?
Yes.
Giving a quick scan, because there's no like what's it called, a summary at the back like our modern books have.
Mm-hmm.
You realize this is some sort of romantic novel.
Oh.
Just giving a few seconds to read. Yeah.
So I'm putting that down and not asking the books again.
Yeah, the half elf looks incredibly embarrassed, and she just says, what are you looking for?"
I'm looking around. Perhaps any books about jinns.
Like jinns, like the creatures jinns.
Exactly.
She takes a deep breath, composes herself, and then starts looking to her left for a few seconds before turning immediately to you. Like stories, or more like what's the word? Scientific? That's an
I'm
odd
just,
word. Scientific.
I'm looking into her face and. Where's the difference?
She shakes her head. I don't know. Apparently the scientific, and she has like air quotes, are precise literature. I don't know what that means. It's just boring. And there's of course the non-scientific literature, the non-boring kind. You know, like stories, tales, epics, and other things. Can you roll me an insight check?
Yes.
You see her stutter for a bit, and she looks a bit uncomfortable. I don't know. She starts looking for something. Let's see if she's gonna put this thing. She seems to be scanning for something, for a book, but as time goes on, she becomes more flustered and annoyed than anything, and then she just takes a deep breath and says, I can't find it. Can you roll another insight check?
Yes.
You have no fucking clue. You don't know what's happening to her. Why she's becoming red and confused, and while she's sweating all of a sudden, she looks perfectly content.
But I could ask her, right?
Nobody's stopping you.
Okay, then I'm going to. What's wrong? Is the climate? Did the climate change? Why are you turning red?
It's nothing. It's She takes a deep breath. She's clearly overthinking something, but you have no clue what. It's been a day. It's been quite a day. You know, Theo, that it's barely morning still.
It's fine. You can tell me. Did something happen?
No, nothing. I just looks at you. I just got.
Can I roll persuasion?
Sure, roll me persuasion.
Oh fuck. Okay.
He just goes, no, it's just I just got surprised, and that's all, and nothing else.
Hmm. Does the shop look usual
Yeah,
for a bookshop?
Well, it's a stall of books. There's clearly, this is not like very suddenly out of nowhere pop up. There's over several hundred books, very neatly stacked, some well organized. In the back, not so much. This shop has been here for a while, and you don't think, you have the suspicion that she might not be like the actual owner, maybe just working for someone.
But can I see any other people in the shop?
No. Nobody really. You see some people who just like look to see if they see anything, but they just, as they walk by, they walk by. They don't really care.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I'm probably not gonna get anything out of her now. Does she? Yeah. Okay. Then I'll probably go look for the books myself. Like Theo doesn't really see a difference between fantasy books and science books, so he probably wouldn't really notice whether he was reading a story about jinns or like a scientific book. But he's just going to look for those. But he is keeping an eye out for the woman he just talked to.
Okay.
If anything suspicious happens.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. 19.
Yeah, 19. So you do. You're looking for what now exactly?
Books about jinns. Doesn't matter if it's fantasy or scientific.
Yeah. You do find. You do look through hold. You look through several, tomes, pages, whatever is available, and you do find a book called Interplanetary Species. It's a big tome, about 800 pieces, and as you flip, you see that there's depictions of different races that are, you seem not native to the, to your world. And eventually, you stumble upon the section somewhere in the third, 3/4 in the book about jinns. Is there anything particular you wish to acquire? Because there's like about 20 pages of it. What particular knowledge would you like to ascertain about the jinns?
If I can find hold on, I forgot the word. Let me Google something. Just their general nature, whether they are naturally maleficent and creatures or not. Because we wouldn't know.
So, those... Okay, so... It takes a bit of reading, and you do eventually find of like the nature of jinns. It's not decisive, because jinns are highly intellectual and highly capable entities each individually, and their motivations and their reactions to anything might differ. There are ways how you can, earn a respect of a jinn and be ally to one, but most of the times, jinns will be deceitful, for most assume jinns are nothing but wish granters. They're willing to abuse the jinn's well-being for their own good, for their individual good. So, yeah. could not be deceitful, but mostly deceitful for the sake of their own protection. But also with a 19, you realize every time when you look around, to look, and you look at the girl, she just stares at you. She has the book again, but then she immediately pretends to look away and does not wanna. She does not want to be seeing you looking at her.
Hmm. I'm going to put the book down and walk directly towards her. Do I have something on my face? Why are you looking at me?
Roll me persuasion.
Oh, 13. Do not have luck
Give
with
me a
that.
second. 13. Oh, that is actually enough. So, as hard temple to look like that. So, as you ask, she becomes incredibly more redder. She looks kind of lost in thought, and she just says, "No, it's your armor, okay? It's your armor." She all of a
What
sudden
about it?
grabs the book that she was reading and flips back about 50 something pages and just finds it. It just taps the book for you to read. And this page describes a grizzled adventurer by the name of Leo that is described to be young, of charcoal black hair, long black charcoal hair, donning set of menacingly looking black armor. As you read this very simple sentence of just describing a guy in a black suit of armor, you look at her and she looks like she's about to she's about to pass out. She doesn't like. She's not happy about it. She doesn't. You roll an insight check.
Yeah. Inside.
Oh my god. There is something in this goddamn book, probably, that makes her terrified of you, but not in a bad way. As apparently you somewhat fit the description of the book in D&D. And you realize that she is both very keen of showing you this, but also very, very, she's having second guesses. She's getting severely embarrassed at the moment as she realizes, why am I saying this to a stranger about this book, about that they might look like them? And now there's awkward silence. So Tia, how would you like to proceed?
I'm staring blankly at the pages, then at her, and then at the pages again. Excuse me, who's this? I'm pointing at the book, the description.
It's nothing. It's just something I've been reading. It's just you can clearly see that it's just not something she picked up. She has been invested in this book. She's lying to you. You know that.
Go.
Okay.
Go. Go.
Go. Shut up. Okay, where's okay, Bess, Aries, roll me investigation check. You're gonna look for Theo. Well, Theo, what are you gonna
I'm
do?
not looking. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for anything that catches my eye.
I imagine, yeah, maybe you'll find Theo also.
I wanna look for Theo.
Yeah. Also, I do like the fact when Constantine was having the thing, you're like, yes, I'm so into it. Now you're in the middle of it, like, fuck.
Investigation. Sure. I'll try it first. Match again. You have the same eyes.
Okay.
We both have 15 again. Why are we synced
Okay.
up?
Okay. So, Theo, what's your response? Everything goes quiet. Everything goes awkward. You have this half elf that is very clearly was now in this first and second hand embarrassment. What she's just saying now, she doesn't know what to do. She is literally dying inside out of embarrassment.
I'm going to take the book, sit myself down on the ground,
Oh, no.
flip it to the first page, and start reading it. Without looking at her again.
Oh.
Stalwart.
Okay, and literally as you sit down and read, something catches your eye. You look through the door outside, and you see, for a briefest of moments, you see Ares looking around, just like looking for some, and immediately your eyes connect with his, and now you're basically reunited. As I guess, Theo, now you have a book to read. Oh fuck.
Just like looking up from the book, start waving at Ares, and then I'm looking at the book owner. I'd like to borrow or buy these 2 books. Because this seems interesting, and I'm flipping through the pages.
Can you roll a persuasion check? I'm not putting any music on because this awkwardness is so good.
I could have a song for that.
No
Oh,
songs.
13 again.
Takes a few seconds. You hear someone on the other side of the counter, as all of a sudden a book falls on your head. An exact copy. Well, not exactly, less used. And you hear a murmur, it's for free.
I'm looking around, see if I can find anyone. Obviously not.
You realize,
Hey?
you realize it's the girl that is hiding behind the counter, just kind of throwing the book to you, and is now hiding under the counter.
I'm just thinking, what a strange girl. And then I'm like, is the other one for free too?
Yeah.
Great. And I'm just thinking, this would have been awkward if Constantine would have had to pay it.
Oh boy.
Books.
And now I have 2 books.
2 books.
Yay!
Hey, you know
Succeed.
what? And I think this is the time we gotta call it, because it's almost 3 hours. See,
Quest complete.
quest completed.
That
Holy
was
shit!
amazing.
Shit has been awkward, but it is what it is. We are
Yeah.
done, I assume. Smiley face.
Next time we'll go to the Fire Temple and we will get the seal of the Sage of Fire.
Oh god, the Sage of Fire seal. Ay man. So I guess with that we're gonna call it. Oh boy. Give me a second. So, anything you wish to say before I'm shutting the stream down with no survivors? It's up to
Free
you.
book. Woo!
I really want to explore Fire Temple.
I'm
I was born to explore Fire Temple.
I need to wild magic more.
gonna
Oh, we
try.
need
I'm
to-
gonna try to.
Yeah. We need to heavily medicate ourselves to know what that happened.
Wait, give me a second. I
Can
want
you
to rate.
cast identify on a person? Is that like a diagnosis spell?
What now?
Can you cast identify on a person?
Uh,
Like diagnosis spell?
I don't know. Can you? Can you? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
I'm gonna rate someone.
Bye.
Oh, we ended it?
Yeah, I'm ending it in a few seconds. 3, 2,
I
1.
said object in the description.
I
Hmm.
I just loved everything about this.